Ta-da! Welcome, everyone, to Astrology and Alchemy. I will turn my mic up just a little bit. I am going to do my best to share some of these. I'm so nervous to click here to reconnect my destination. I want to click it, but if it ruins my stream, I'm going to be so frustrated. But this week, guys, I feel like some of the work I do with government and policy is biting me in the bottom. Am I going to click this button? Let's just do it. Let's be brave. Let's be brave. Reconnect. Let's give it a shot. Is that going to work? Try again. Facebook denied me my access to this page. Okay, fine then. Or that one. Fine. So some things maybe aren't going to stream. You know what? No big deal. We'll deal with it. Welcome, guys. Callie, welcome. Chet, Matt, John, Jacob, Jingleheimer, Schmidt, all the people. Really, really appreciate you stopping by, especially because last week we did not have a session because Matt was on vacation and I was working. And then this week, Matt is not with us either because he is working. And not that I'm on vacation, but I do like school's out and the holidays and all that jazz, but more or less hacking, I would say, is the issue. So if you do follow me on social media or you've been trying to visit my website and you're like, what the heck? Yes, I can see you, Queen. And you're wondering where it went. Hey, have a cup of tea with me. It's actually coffee. That's just the way it goes. Some things will never change. You can still email me at theparanormalsarah@gmail.com. And wherever you're listening to this, hopefully the Paranormal Channel, at Subspace, Odyssey Radio, at Paranormal Sarah's YouTube, or Astrology and Alchemy. There's so many different avenues you could be listening to this. You could be in the future. You could be a time traveler. The point is, I really appreciate you listening, and I do hope you'll continue to share the show. Tomorrow, I am going to be a guest on Podcasts to be Dismembered, and it's a really cool horror and sci-fi podcast where there are animators. It's about 3 hours long. We break down horror movies minute by minute, scene by scene. They had me on last year for their Halloween special. We did Serpent and the Rainbow. It was really fun. And their little animation of me, I felt like a South Park character. It was really cool. Tomorrow we're going to be doing Dark Skies. If you've never watched that movie before, if you are unfamiliar with it, or you are interested in learning more, check out that podcast. Keep an eye out for it. I believe it takes a few weeks for them to edit everything because they actually break by scenes the movie for you to watch along on the podcast. And when they put it up on their YouTube and everything, it is super cool. It's one of the coolest shows I've done. And I've been on Coast to Coast. I've done Darkness Radio. I've done them all. So as far as horror goes, one of my favorites. Really cool people. So you've got me tonight, guys. You don't mind, do you? Get a coffee. I'm really hoping to see some of our fellow astrologers joining us because I'm going to need you. There are a few gaps and holes in the week ahead. And I always get those messages tomorrow or the next day that allow me to fill in for those on the Gypsy Tribe or who join me for private workshops on intuition and things like that. We get the inside scoop, especially the day after the live podcast goes tonight. People will correct me. They will give me insider information. And I update my Excel spreadsheet accordingly and share it with those of you in the group. But if you're joining me live tonight, that means we get to hash this out together, you and I. And usually I have my co-host, duo, and partner in crime, Matt, who really does help me finagle the dates. It allows me, you'll notice me going from one screen to the next, one tab to the next. For work, I always have like thousands of tabs open. Maybe not thousands, but like 15 or 16 tabs open. And so I always feel like, daggone, it makes things a little difficult. And when Matt talks, it allows me to go back and update and fix that. So you guys, last week you didn't have our guidance. I'm so sorry. A few of you messaged me, where was the show? You didn't miss it. It didn't exist. People out there in the realm needing this information were just floating around with a towel like a hitchhiker, hopefully getting the information they needed from the Farmer's Almanac, the woolly worms, and the other signs in nature that tell us what to expect. But this week you have us here at Astrology and Alchemy, and by us, I mean me. And whoever is joining me in the chat, not just Kelly, but a few of our other really great friends and listeners. So those are my Gordon Ramsay wrinkles. You can't see them if you're just listening, but they are there. We are going to explore the astrology. Now, I only saw one hole for real. And if you're new to the show and may be interested in how in the heck are we even using this information? What does it matter? What does it mean? What's this? What's this? The idea is that really you are able to get out a piece of paper, maybe open up a tab to email yourself. I do that sometimes. That you are able to use this to meditate, write down your notes. What predictions do you have? What predictions do you have? What thoughts do you have about the things you're hearing me say and talk about as we go through the astrology? And what does it mean when I say micro? That's your life. You, your dad, your mom, your people. And when I say macro, I mean like the world, right? Everybody, maybe the nation, maybe America. So Tuesday today, because we didn't talk about it last week. Okay. Juno, not just the movie, planetary thing out there, right? Entering into Virgo. Now I'm a Virgo. Virgo's my sign. Virgo's my sun, my moon, my Venus, all my things. If you don't know what I mean by that, you guys, please, please, please reach out and get a birth chart reading. If not from me, from somebody. You can find them online. You can download them for free. But if you look at it and you're like, I don't know what this means, that's one of the things I do. You know, that master's in forensic psychology. If for anything, it's good for breaking down a birth chart. And I feel like, come on, if you're wanting to do that, reach out and let me help you. But Juno, it's an asteroid. It's going to be associated with a goddess, the goddess, maybe even Venus in that case. So falling in between Venus and Mars. So that's going to be like power, erotic, sex, even. Ooh, love, sex, and marriage, sometimes loyalty. Juno representing that space, mate space, the divine consort space. So in these notes, that's today, goes into Virgo. Suffer no slackers. I really like that bumper sticker for the day. Suffer no slackers. The next few weeks, it's 2.5 weeks, by the way, we will demand perfection from partners, colleagues, peers. Perfection or nothing at all. This is helping purge toxic relationships and relations. But don't forget to not just when you're cutting cords, cutting things, cutting strings, cutting rope, cutting people, cutting self. Cut yourself some slack. The cutting and what that representation is. If you have an altar space that you're working out for solstice things, consider putting that blade on there for cutting of the veil, cutting of the cords, this very energy. So I would say in the divination suggestion, this is going to be cord cutting. This is going to be knife work. This is going to be blades. Think about that. The goddess of mate energy. Yes. So think about what that means for you. What does that also mean for the world? Matt, what does that mean? Give us a breakdown. And he'd probably be like, well, Sarah, I don't really do a whole lot with asteroids, but a little bit on what you said. And he'd go into Virgo as I typed in my notes and things that people are also sending me in the private messages that I go and look to now because people are sending me really cool things. And I will try and do it all, I promise. Yes, I see that. Yes, I see that. Yes, I see that. Okay, so then I'll just exit out of there. For those of you joining me from the Paranormal Anomalous Forum online, StreamYard allows me to see like 12 different streams of chat and forum and questions, and it streams for me all in one area. Whereas if you're just joining me on YouTube, maybe you only see 5 viewers or 56 viewers or 13 viewers or 32 viewers or 3,200 viewers, wherever you're at. I can see Callie, I can see John B, I can see all of you guys and what you're stating. Jill had shared, this is a major time, maybe even suspecting World War. Don't say it. Don't spray it. I want the news, not the weather. You got to be careful. But I would say knife work, cord cutting, mate, checkmate. I think of the neurolinguistics, checkmate. Has anyone been listening to the guy Pierre running for prime minister behind Trudeau? He's fantastic. If you haven't listened to him speak, fantastic. Check him out. Wednesday, October 18th. That's tomorrow. Hump day. What do you have planned? The astrology. Hi, Mary Beth. Wednesday, and I'll put in there the 18th. What? What? Nothing major, no major astrological movements. What does that mean? In the past, that's kind of told us that really is usually after quaking and shaking, which we are seeing a lot of earthquakes down the California border and Russia and Alaska. I mean, obviously, some of the major ones in Afghanistan, major earthquakes, like doing some natural disaster stuff. But Mary says, MEA the rest of the week. So I am babysitting. Same here, I think, all throughout the nation. If you're anybody working in education or you have children in school, MEA, MAPS, or whatever you might call it, there's testing and conferences. So people are out of school. It's also kind of an interesting time, just the timing politically, and knowing that, okay, nothing's happening. What does that mean astrologically after checkmate or mate relationship kind of shifting happens on a Tuesday with all the stuff just stirring afoot? What does it mean? What does it mean? I think it means a lot, actually, but a day to reflect. So I always kind of put that if there is a break, there's no astrological movements or nothing major, or if you guys in the chat have something to add. And if you're listening to this as a time traveler, definitely message me if you have feedback. But then we are going to be moving into Thursday. Actually excited about Thursday. It's going to be kind of a good day for me hearing back on opportunity. But then also, and I will share this in there for those of you writing this down on your piece of paper. Guys, use this for predictive stuff because you're going to be your biggest skeptic. So when people say, gosh dang, Sarah, how is it that you do intuitive readings, or how did you get, so accurate, relevant, and helpful? And it's because of practice. It's like playing the piano. Some people are born just able to do it, and some people really need to practice a little bit each day. And you don't, want just your mom and dad leaning over your shoulder saying, wow, that's really good. That's a good job. You want other people, you want strangers, you want things happening in and around you in the universe to kind of validate what's going on so that you can make sense of it all. And once you start to realize what your own intuition is teaching you, man, it starts to make sense. And then it becomes predictive. And as Matt and I often say, it's almost like statistics. And I really don't love statistics. I failed it twice. It ruined my GPA. I still graduated top of my class because I think it ruined statistics ruined everybody. I think nobody got it right. But statistics, it matters. And astrology is all measurement. It's all degrees. It's all math. It's all numbers. It's the matrix. It's the simulation. It's the dials on the computer game that we are all in. So, Thursday, you guys wrote it down. Hopefully, you had some time. Thursday, the sun is in Libra. What does that mean? Conjunct Mercury in Libra. What does that mean? Okay, I'm going to tell you. So the sun, I always remember that's kind of the center of our galaxy, right? We need it for our photosynthesis, for the vitamin D. We need the sun, but also like in a tarot deck, we need it to live. It is our sunshine, our only sunshine. Keeps us happy when skies are gray. But you can get sunburned. You can get burnt out. All the words and ways of the sun. It is moderation of a major life need. So whatever that might be, and in your birth chart of astrology, you will have a sun sign. Whatever that sign is, kind of indicates the theme of what is going to be very important in your life. And your sun, it's brought to light. It's bright. You can see it. It's the daytime. It's it's there. It's obvious. It's birthed. It is showing us. It's showing us. It's our ego. So the sun, and we're talking like yang energy. Yin would be your energy in your birth chart and how it's relevant to the math equation equals yang. Yang is what's happening out there. If we walk outside into the space into the simulation, the sun, generally speaking, in present time, sun will be in Libra, moving in Libra, the constellation Libra, right? And man, conjunct Mercury in Libra, that's two big planetary things right there. This is a positive thing for air. If you're already a Libra sign, that's a cardinal air sign. Of the air signs, you have Libra, Aquarius, and Gemini. Libra is spearheading that pact of air that's in the tarot deck swords. That is, you don't say. Did you hear? That's air. Socializing, charm, language. Using language to win people over. Wit, humor, tone, volume, language, breath work. All of it. Discussion. It's going to coerce even the most difficult of people. I would say wink, wink, nudge, nudge, but don't. Whistle, whistle. You want to use air because Mercury, the planet closest to the sun, right there, going by really fast, it really initiates our communication. It helps us distinguish what we think in our cognitive process, what's happening in our brain and coming out of our mouth, which is why when people go, oh no, Mercury's in retrograde, that means that shit's not going to work right. We're not going to be able to, we're going to be thinking one thing and we're going to be saying another. It's not in retrograde right now, by the way. It's direct. And it's going to be direct in Libra, meaning Libra is all about drama. It's all about the he said, she said, you know what. It's the it's salt and pepper. It's all of it. And Libra is flighty. It's dramatic. It's also diplomatic in ways. So get ready for sugar-coated words and music, I would even say. Music to the ears. Mary says, I chuckled at that. Sorry, my college level algebra screwed GPA. Statistics, I can't even handle it. I don't understand. When people are like, oh, I love statistics. I thought that was like my favorite class. I'm like, they're a reptilian. They're not real. Because that's crazy. Crazy. Anyway, you guys, I want you to think about Libra because Libra's popping up again. If you had somebody in your life recently who had a birthday, they're a Libra. What does that mean? That means they're an air sign. It means they're going to talk, 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 and sing, 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 and do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. All the things. And that you need to be able to communicate. Because if you don't communicate, especially in boundaries, things aren't going to work. The wind is going to just blow right through things. I always think of the wolf blowing down the house, and that you need to know and understand the foundation of what it is that you're protecting or that you're in or out of. The wolf was able to blow things down and charm his way in that fabled tale, even through bricks, right? And I really like some of the rewritten stories of the big bad wolf. If you let them in, you can still let that person in. You're still opening that door. They're still knocking. They're still saying, "Hey, I have an apple for sale." So be very, 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 very careful when we use the word schmoozing, used car salesman, all of that kind of stuff. That is for Thursday, October 19th, and be aware of sugar-coated words. Okay? Okay. Now, let me know if you guys have any questions as we go through this, because I am multitasking with 12 tabs open, and my coffee, as strong as it is getting cold, which I'm kind of a coffee princess, not a queen, not a queen. I don't need it like French pressed or anything, but I don't like it to be lukewarm. It's got to be either hot or iced. So right now we're there, but we're going to work on it. Friday. Get ready. Put a dot down on your paper. Robin says, I am reaching a milestone birthday in 9 days, but that makes me a Scorpio. Robin, I'm so proud to see you in the chat. I absolutely miss your face. I love you. If you, by the way, have any conferences, we need to chat, because I need to get back on the circuit. I'm working now in a way that allows me a little bit more flexibility. And so I would love to see you. I know that, or at least I believe, you are still in Kentucky. Man, you've got some cool stuff. I would love to just hang out with you again. You're so much fun. But I love seeing your face in the chat, and give all of your wonderful company my best. Slap on the cheek. Friday, put a dot down. Mercury in Libra. Libra again? We just talked about that, so you know what that means. That means talking a lot. If your phone rings, answer it. Really? On a Friday? Yes. Write your thank you cards, write your birthday cards, do the things. Answer your phone, print your emails, do the correspondence. Do it. Do it, do it, do it, do it, do it. Do it. Do it. It's Friday. Play a good song. Wake up, do a breathing exercise. Okay, fine. I'll do it. I'll do it. It's almost like Grinch energy. He's going to do it. He doesn't want to go, but he's going to go. He puts on all the outfits and he figures it out and he shows up. Blah. And he does. And there's a lot of noise. And there's a lot of automatopoeias going on. But this is squaring off with Pluto in Capricorn. Man, anytime Pluto in the back, way back there. And then we did him dirty and we said, you're a planet. No, you're not. Yes, you are. 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 You're important. No, you're not. You're important. No, you're not. Look, all the stories written about Pluto, all the characters that he plays, Pluto is important. And we do know, in alchemy wise, that it affects our bodies and it affects our psyche. And Pluto in your birth chart, Pluto is your life and death. It's major life themes. That cycle, I believe, and please correct me, because I could be wrong. I could just Google it, I suppose. Come on, Sarah. You're at the age of information. The cycle of Pluto is 12 to 30 years to move from one sign, and 248 years to move through the whole zodiac. So when we talk about, and Matt has talked about that, the last time Pluto was here being a 248-year chunk, Pluto's energy, it's very powerful. It's very potent, and it runs in particular themes, particularly representing I love Hades, Baron Samedi, necromancy, and the world of alchemy and spirituality. Necromancy is where I play. So that Pluto is going to be Persephone, clearing away dead weight, collective hoarding of the spirit and soul, past lives, future lives, that kind of stuff. And right now, Pluto is making a big shift. We are seeing a 248-year shift, as well as a 14-year shift that is taking us back to life and death themes that we saw back in 2009, 2014. Some people in conspiracy theories are liking it to the CERN. But astrologically, what we do see when Pluto moves, and it doesn't happen that often, obviously, but right now it's on a meniscus, it's on a precipice, it's dancing around on an edge, and it's in Capricorn with Mercury talking out there, being dramatic. So it's a really competitive aspect falling on a Friday morning that I will say, for those of you using this daily, weekly breakdown of daily energy, this is the day that people are going to be a real jerk, a real powdered covered turd. This is really going to be, you're going to see the worst in people and the worst in yourself. Harry Potter. This is a reflective space about manipulation because Mercury's in Libra, so there's a lot of drama. And people are going to absolutely squeeze the tail end of that towel. Hard times create what? Hard people? I don't know that. I really love that saying, and I forget how it goes. I'll have to look it up. But people are really out there to achieve their goals no matter what. And you too. So on Friday, this Mercury and Libra squaring off with Pluto and Capricorn, people are going to eat people. And I say this, man, not to stir up any conspiracy theories. Bail Money Friday. And yes, Callie, last week and this week, major life shifts. People losing their job, people losing the family farm, people being put on hospice, people dying, people's pets dying, people's support dying, people's siblings getting cancer, people's house catching fire, people's entire retirement being sold out in a stock and just lost overnight. Major craziness in the inbox of just social work, psychologist, psychic. And I know I can see those patterns, guys, when we did the predictions a year ago in January. It's these big shifts and movements that when we said World War III and we said, you know, all the stuff, we even talked about aliens and predictions. You can kind of see some of that there. Matthew, he's popping in the chat room to say hello. Matt, we need you on the show to let us know. But this breakdown of the day is that people are going to eat people. People will eat people. People eat people. So what does it mean? This is definitely like a Depeche Mode kind of stay in emo day. If you're going to play hooky, I'm kind of glad that people are out of school. If you're going to go out, go camping, if you're going to check out, actually might be a really great day to do that is this Friday because people are going to show you their worst selves. Yay. That sounds like fun. If you're working in retail, good luck to you. It's as good as a Black Friday this Friday. It's a liken to a Black Friday this Friday, October 20th. So be prepared. Saturday, 1, not 2, 3 things. 3 things happening on Saturday. And Matthew shares in the chat room, Pluto's aspects correlates with Hamas attacking last Saturday. Absolutely. And Callie sharing that her mother passed away. That it absolutely just, yeah. And breaking hearts, ending relationships, lots of change. So Callie, you are in our thoughts, especially with your mom passing. I'm so sorry to hear that. And you guys just, continue to send positive energy where you can, because, if anything, we are not alone in this really crazy, tumultuous, turbulent, all the words, pugnacious time That's a fun word, right? So hang in there and use it. Hopefully, if you can, one of the words for those people who are investing in the Gypsy tribe, we are talking about temporary, temperance, and the word temp, and where some of that comes from, and how we can apply it to our lives in an alchemy space. But Saturday, what day will that be? Saturday, October 21st. First thing happening. No, say it ain't so. Say it ain't so. The first thing happening, dang, it's another Libra. It's one that we've already kind of discussed. It's one that's going to be hitting us tomorrow and into Thursday. The sun in Libra, the center of the universe, that which is very important to us. Yes, stuff that we started to kind of see, and you're going to see these patterns repeating. So the predictions and things that you saw happen the last time the sun was in Libra, squaring off with something or conjunct with something, moving in some way. It's like someone strumming an astrological guitar in the universe. That sun in Libra, you're going to see a repeat, and it's squaring off with Pluto and Capricorn. So what happened that day and then what happened Friday times 2. Another really big movement Saturday morning, a day of major division and resentment. Think about that. If you partook in Friday's bullshit, really got the worst of somebody, Saturday could be really terrible for you. Think about that. Major division. Think of it on a micro level and a macro level, as a nation, as a world. Resentment. Remember the old paper towel commercial? So sorry. It's not going to work. I'm sorry. Ain't going to happen. Controlling people, power and control, one over the other, dominating egos, authoritative push. It's going to eat the group. People eating people on Friday. It's going to cannibalize and crumble. Spend the day solo if you can, Friday night into Saturday. Avoid the clash of the titans. Avoid the fight of the ego. Go out and do it alone. Alone. The neuro-linguistic programming there, lone, L-O-N-E. And in the archetype wheel and in some of the spirit spaces that we work, if you're wanting a session, please let me know. I'm booking some extra ones to kind of save up for my Kansas City adventure this holiday season. The lone, the loner, those places are, I hate all the fruit flies. They matter, and it's irrelevant. So Pluto and Capricorn, it's going to be another death, life or death, big shift. Something that's going to hit pretty close to home and change things. So then Saturday afternoon, we have another thing. Mary Beth says, man, I'm good with alone. Good. You can hang. Saturday afternoon, we are going to see Venus. Finally, Venus. Whew. Okay, Sarah, I had a date planned. When can I go out? Me and the girls were going to go do this. When should I leave the house? You keep saying alone, alone, alone. When should I go out and do the thing? Well, if you have to, do it Saturday afternoon or evening as the energy starts to move into the Scorpio vibe. Venus, going to move into Virgo, Venus in Virgo. It's going to be trine Jupiter and Taurus. Now, what the heck does that mean? So Venus, the planet, planetary structure. So I think of, like, if we're liking it to the analogy of a car, you got your engine, you've got your radiator, you've got your major parts. If we're thinking of it like a metaphor to anatomy, you've got your heart, your lungs, your brain, and astrology, you've got your major planets. And then there's the processes, the way they move. Right? The things going through them. Your air intake system, it's air going through there. Your electric system, it's electric stuff going through there. Your blood, it's your red blood cells, white blood cells, and platelets. Okay. Like what system is it, and what kind of energy is it moving? Well, this is Venus, the planetary structure that really, when it moves, it changes relationships in a sexual way, in a sensual way. Va 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 voom. I always think of that, kind of reminded me as a teenager to remember va va va, like Jessica Rabbit, that sparkly red, the curves, the sounds, art, taste, going out, doing the things. And it's going to be in Virgo. So that's positive. It's optimistic. It's about thinking. It's about intention. It's going to brighten up kind of an otherwise dark October space with some happiness. A great night for romance, dating, all the things. You'll be a little bit more relaxed. And Jupiter, another planetary structure, it's kind of like putting nitrous oxide in your car. When Jupiter is activated, when Jupiter, the big gas giant, is moving in accordance and you're strumming that structure, that's like cocaine. That's Chris Farley. It's going to make things more. It's going to enhance things. It's going to multiply them. And Jupiter is expansion and luck and growth and hyperactivity, movement. And it's going to be in the process or energy of Taurus, which is kind of just, all right, all right, all right. Taurus is an earth sign. It's going to be slow and quiet and calm and collected. So Jupiter is just chill, man. This might be a really great night to just chill, the eating Greek food in your car by moonlight kind of night, right? The perfect date night. Really fun, really relaxed, really cool. Things that might just be very sensual in nature. And that's not the only thing. Remember, I said 3 things are going to be happening on Saturday. Saturday night, something happens. Scorpio season, Mary Beth. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Saturday PM. I'll put that in there. That third dot that you want to kind of feel the prediction, feel the vibe. Mercury, the planet, little baby planet again, right? It affects how we think and speak. Woo! What are we thinking about? What are we talking about? It's moving into Scorpio. Ooh. What do I mean when I say that? Well, this is about speaking emotionally. This is taking things, of communication and thought. It's suddenly going to be in Scorpio. It's going to be sounding like a Deftones song. It's going to be Portishead. It's going to be mysterious. It's going to be emotional. Communication is going to be deeper, more intense. Mercury, when it is in Scorpio, the sign of the scorpion, it could bite you. It could sting you. It could help get rid of all your freckles and frowns, or it could kill you slowly in the night. And you're not going to know anything about it. You're not going to hear about it. You're just going to put your sock on like normal and then be gone by lunchtime. I mean, what you're talking about here for the next 2.5 weeks, starting Saturday night, is casual small talk is out the window. This is deep stares. This is tantric. This is intimate. This is tell me your life, death, poison story and your Achilles heel. It really is. Scorpios, I don't want to say they don't have time to waste, but it's emotional, man. And if it's not the discussion about how you feel and a deep, deep connection about it, not just, oh, I don't know, I feel all right. I feel deeply connected to the way the leaves are moving across the cement. It reminds me of growing up when I would go trick-or-treating. Like, the way you speak needs to speak to things on a deep level. And if you can use that energy on Saturday night, on that date night, what do you think about this art? Because maybe you go to an art museum. I don't know. I think it's okay. What do you think? I mean, you could always turn it around, but the idea would be like, oh yeah, I think a lot when I look at this. Oh yeah. I get some feelings when I look at this art. In fact, I need to process it. What do you think? Man, you could get like real deep and mysterious and then turn it around. Wow, I didn't know it was that deep. Okay, well, no, let me take a step back and look at it. Oh, wow, now that you mention it, like this is going to be an opportunity to really enhance things going on in your life. So it could be something to really use if you are capable of doing such things and being aware of such energies. And I hope that you are. That's the goal of the show. I hope that we're able to help you use it in that way. Okay, guys, then it will be Sunday. Will that be the 22nd? I think so. Is that what I'm saying? Sunday, the 22nd? Yep. And then we got to keep moving because I got only so much time in the show. For those of you who hang on a little bit longer, I'm going to be doing kind of a preliminary check-in on some of the jewelry I'm putting up on my silent auction. So if you guys do want to hang with me after the show, and if you're wondering what I'm talking about, I am purging. Speaking of Pluto and Capricorn, I am minimizing a lot of my stuff and just purging some things, knowing full well that like I need to invest in family time and different things for my family and my kids and just growth stuff that I've got things that I know might be somebody's very favorite item, and I just hang on to them because they're sentimental and cool. But I'm going to be doing my part to initiate that purge of stuff that may not serve me 100%. And so I'm excited to put some really special pieces on and doing a silent auction and helping support some mental health awareness organizations that I find to be really important. And then also to make space in my life for opportunities of new stuff and all the things. And then that which doesn't sell, I'm going to be donating to a local metaphysical shop, which should be kind of fun. So please let me know if you're interested and hang on a little bit longer after tonight's show, and you can kind of go with me on some of the items. But Sunday, the 22nd, there's only one thing happening astrologically speaking. So I want you to go ahead and put one dot down on your piece of paper in your mind in that text message email to yourself. Look at that. Mercury in Scorpio, trine Saturn in Pisces. Now, what the heck does that mean? Mercury, again, you have communication in the sign of the Scorpion. It's mystery, right? But also great for emotional decisions. Using intuition to make shrewd choices about important life issues at hand. Ooh, do not second guess yourself today. Do it on Sunday, October 22nd. Saturn and Pisces. Gut react. That's so important. Saturn is rules, boundaries, lines in the sand, emotion, emotion, emotion. This is water times 2 on thought around rules. If somebody says, do this, don't do that, can't you read the sign? Really understanding, how you feel about those decisions, those how do you feel? How does it feel? That is going to be so key to the reflection space here and to also the decisions that are going to be made come the week ahead. There's some big phases happening, some, again, astrological major meteor showers, all sorts of things happening in the sky that are going to affect and influence how people as a group and individually, that means you. Are you still a person? I think so. Act. So let's hopefully have a little predictive control. Do we have any control? Barely any. But the Virgo in me will say, you can see the statistics in the air if you pay attention. You can see the dragonflies if you're still enough, if you just know where to look. So Sunday, how do you feel? Ooh, asking that question. Somebody might kick you right in the nuts and walk the heck out right then and there. If you really push that, tip it, it's going to go. Man, I just heard a song came to my mind. Aaliyah. And so when I think of Aaliyah, I always think of somebody in a plane accident. And I really feel like that plays out relevant to whatever is going on there. So I'm going to put in my intuitive thing, a small off the coast plane accident of an entertainer. Because I think of rock the boat, rock the boat, rock the boat, rock the boat, work the middle, work the middle. Do you remember that song? It's one of my favorites. Ooh, it's so good. But she died shortly after filming that. And man, there was some controversy with that. So I don't know if you guys are conspiracy theorists, but go down that wormhole. You'll find some Jay-Z type Illuminati stuff real quick. Okay. So then really think about how that's going to work. What do you think is going to happen on Sunday? You guys aren't really sharing a whole lot of your predictions in the chat, so I'm not sure how to take that. Maybe you're thinking a whole lot. Maybe you're not thinking much. Maybe I don't want to influence it too much. But Sunday, you should expect some pushing back and maybe pushing back of yourself and how to react, how to engage. Now, Monday, this is going to be the 23rd. We will almost be a full week around. Man, just think, we're going to already know what have happened then. We'll be time travelers on that day. One thing is happening astrologically. The sun. What? A lot of sun movement. That's ego. That's a need. Things we need. Maslow's hierarchies of needs. Food, water, shelter, love. The sun. If that fucker goes out, we are not living very long, guys. We kind of need it. And you need your ego. Despite what people try to tell you, oh, you're just an egotistical, narcissistic, psycho, sociopathic maniac. Well, you know what? There's a lot to be said there. And knowing what you are and knowing your ego, knowing what's important to your pride, knowing what you show people, knowing your identity, who you are on the inside and out, these are all really important things. The sun, reflection, light helps us see things visually and to also grow and know what we need to face and what we need to look at, what we need to shine a light on, right? All those language focal points matter. Magnify, don't burn, right? Anyway, the sun enters Scorpio. Indeed, Scorpio season, Mary Beth, is here. So what the heck does that mean? Spooky season has officially begun. Are you ready to rumble? So get seduced by the darker side of life. Ooh, we've got cookies over here. You know what I mean? Passions run high. Desire and yin, yearning, energy of the yin. Do you know what that is? So this keeps us either warm on a chilly, cold night. Wink, wink. Think of the metaphor. Think of the metaphor. Or completely burns down the house. Burning down the house. The choice is yours. What? The sun, your ego, and Scorpio. You're going to kill it. You're going to let it live. Let it die. Let it die. It's the Lorax. You guys seen that? That's a song from the Lorax. I'm not that demented. But are you going to let your anger and resentment and emotions through this Pluto thing change? Grief, anger, hate, frustration, impatience, fear. I think of Donnie Darko. Love or fear? It's not that easy. Well, the universe is saying, especially on Monday, yes, it is. It is this easy today. So choose your poison. And hopefully we have been taking just enough of bullshit throughout this whole year that we have earned ourselves a little immunity to it. Tuesday, October 24th. I have to write down what's happening because I hadn't wrote it in yet. You guys caught me off guard on this one. And this is usually when I would be letting Matt chime in and I'd be like, oh, yes, and I'd be commenting on that and learning from him. And I would also be typing at the same time, but instead I'm chatting with you. So this is important. This is the full Tuesday all the way to next week, guys. This is the last thing you need to put down on your calendar. There's only one thing that happens, and then we have a huge few day gap, which makes me, the astrologer, a little nervous. Wink, wink, that we should have such a meditation after Tuesday. The sun again in Scorpio again. We know what that means. Trying. I always think of that together. Like, what? You try me? You better you try me. Saturn in Pisces. Saturn is the rules again. The rule maker, earth shaker. Oh, baby, don't you come around here. I always think of Saturn being, if you like it, then you should have put a ring on. Saturn is like really saucy, and it's eroded. That's the way that's just the way it is. It's set, man. It's the line in the sand, and it's kind of saucy. And then you've got the sun in Scorpio, which is very like, guess what? I don't care about the heat on the sand. I'm a Scorpion, and I'm going to poke you with my butt anyway. I mean, it's going to do what it's going to do. So let's read what the Farmer's Almanac says. This is an increase in productivity, energy, momentum, and has in store, doesn't make any sense, and has energy stored for prideful encouragement to widen the emotional gap and mental horizons or perspectives. So this is kind of interesting as yin, emotion, and thought. So your mental horizons and emotional gaps or voids, that you can use this prideful encouragement, this people saying, oh, wow, you're doing so great. Oh, wow, I can't believe you're going through that. Oh my God, I'm so that we are able to kind of harness the power of deep imagination, fantasy, and talents to create something worth living for. Ooh, interesting. That there is some creation energy coming out of here, which we would see in the death card. We would absolutely see in the death card. And so I'm going to go ahead and just put on there the divination suggestion is the death card, and to know how to use that energy, how to harness that in divination. And people in the chat go, man, Pisces didn't destroy the world yet. No, and couldn't if they wanted to. They're too emotional. They never could. They'd go, oh no, I can't believe I did that. There is emotion intact in the Pisces fish in a barrel. And so even though they say it's like shooting fish in a barrel, it, something off about putting dynamite in the pond just to scoop up a few dead fish. It just doesn't seem or feel right, does it? And it won't. It won't set just right. So there's something about that pride, ego, and integrity that we're going to see in some of our work. Now, if you guys are not in the Gypsy tribe, please do your best to join me on social media. I may have recently gone through a hacking situation where you cannot check out paranormalsarah.com right now, but in the meantime, you can go on my social media and you will see a silent auction for some cool jewelry, some uniquely cool psychometric, do we say haunted? Yeah, lingering history on some cool artifacts and items that I have, altar items, and just some cool witchy shopping and things that I'll be providing for the spooky season. So just because my website isn't currently working doesn't mean that I am out of commission. I actually, in fact, have a lot of things that we're working on. So please reach out and follow me. And at the very least, share tonight's show with a friend or family member, and be sure and join us next Tuesday. We'll be here every Tuesday, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. And then you are available to download for free or on any and all available podcast hosting sites, whether it be iTunes or Spotify. You can check out Astrology and Alchemy. Search it. You'll find it there. You can also check us out on YouTube. I would love it if you followed Paranormal Sarah on YouTube and checked me out on Instagram. It's just at Paranormal Sarah, guys. It's not that hard. But follow me along and I'll do my best to interact with you there. And then we can pick each other's brains. And until next week, guys, I hope you have a wonderful weekend. I hope the Pluto and Capricorn shift is treating you well. And if there's anything I can do, please let me know. In the meantime, guys, I will see you next week. Until then.